Whenever I look at reports of scientific discoveries that contradicts evolution, my head starts to spin whenever I see evolutionists scramble for an explanation, no matter how oxymoronic the explanation really is. Scientists have recently discovered sulfur bacteria they allege to be about 2 billion years old that has remained unchanged to modern sulfur bacteria found in mud off the coast of Chile. But despite this complete lack of change over all this time, which is what they claim evolution is, it somehow still supports Charles Darwin's theory of evolution, because they claim, seemingly without a doubt in their mind, that an organism is not supposed to change if the physical or biological environment doesn't change. Now, I spent at least 10 minutes trying to wrap my head around this statement, because they claim that if the organisms did change, yet the environment did not, that would have shown that their understanding of Darwinism was seriously flawed. Now, they continue to make statements like this, despite the numerous organisms that have been found over the last few years, showing that an organism's development over time, as they define change, which is change from one kind to another, really has little to do with the environment, such as the tadpole shrimp and the horsehead crab. Two creatures that, despite hundreds of millions of years worth of environmental changes, remain virtually the same to this day. They've been through thick and thin in numerous catastrophes, yet they remain unchanged. You have drug-resistant bacteria that for a long time was taught in school to be the result of Darwinian natural selection, that the fittest and most resistant bacteria survives and passes on its genes based on environmental factors. In fact, it has nothing at all to do with Darwinism or any kind of antibiotic treatment whatsoever, because a drug-resistant bacteria, allegedly more than 4 million years old, was recently found in a cave in New Mexico about 3 years ago, with no contact with the outside world at all. Because of this, it is suggested that antibiotic resistance is in fact hardwired into the bacteria, meaning that it was designed that way from the start. Now I could go on, but it matters not, because Darwinian evolution is never wrong, despite the mountain of evidence stacked against it. They are always right, so if they find anything that disproves it, it's no problem for them. They will simply twist the evidence to fit into their paradigm, into their definition of an organism's change over time. Which brings me to the reason why I made this video to begin with. We see atheists often demand we bring evidence for the giants of Genesis 6, and for the Christians who fraternize with the enemy on a regular basis about the Word of God. I ask you why. Why are you wasting your time with these fools who boastfully profess themselves to be wise, knowing that no amount of evidence will even so much as make a dent in the armor that Satan built for them? If evolutionist groups like the Smithsonian Institute were to suddenly admit that the giants were real and even put them on display, which I believe they will eventually, do you seriously think that you would get the truth about who they really were? You're not. And contrary to what some might think, I don't believe they destroy the remains at all, as they never destroy evidence, they only hide it. This is Satan's kingdom, so we should never expect the cold hard truth from the father of lies.